Hello students, let's try to continue our discussion on amalgamation and absorption of a company. The specific topic for discussion would be types of amalgamation as per AS 14. Objectives of the study. The first objective is to understand the types of accounting in amalgamation as per AS 14. The second objective is to understand the steps for accounting purpose. And the third objective is to understand the incorporating entries and the different methods of accounting for amalgamation in the books of transferee company. Types of amalgamation as per AS 14. There are two types of amalgamation as per AS 14. First one is merger method and second one is purchase method. Let us discuss about merger method. Amalgamation is said to be in the nature of merger when all the following conditions are satisfied. The first condition is all the assets and liabilities of the transferor company shall become the assets and liabilities of the transferee company. Second condition, shareholders holding not less than 90% of the face value of the equity shares of the transferor company shall become equity shareholders of the transferee company by virtue of amalgamation. Third condition, the purchase consideration shall be discharged by the transferee company in equity shares only. And the fourth condition, the business of the transferor company shall be carried on by the transferee company even after amalgamation. And the last condition, the assets and liabilities of the transferor company shall be incorporated in the books of the transferee company at their book value without any adjustment. Let us discuss the second type of amalgamation as per AS 14. The second type is purchase method. If any one or more of the conditions specified for amalgamation in the nature of merger are not satisfied, then it is known as amalgamation in the nature of purchase method. In this type of amalgamation, one company acquires another company and equity shareholders of the combining or amalgamating companies do not continue to have proportionate share in the equity of the combined or amalgamated company, and the business of the acquired company is not intended to be continued after the amalgamation. Let us understand the difference between merger method and purchase method. The first difference under merger method, all the assets and liabilities of transferor company are transferred to transferee without revaluation. Under purchase method, all the assets and liabilities of transferor company need not be taken over by transferee company. It may be revalued in the books of transferee company. The second difference under merger method, purchase consideration shall be paid in equity shares only, except cash for fraction. Under purchase method, purchase consideration may be paid in the form of equity shares, preference shares, debentures and cash. The third difference under merger method, more than 90% of equity shareholders of transferor company becomes equity shareholders of the transferee company. Under purchase method, the equity shareholders of transferor company need not be equity shareholders of the transferee company. The third difference under merger method, the business of transferor should be continued in the transferee company even after amalgamation. Under purchase method, the business of transferor company need not be continued in transferee company after amalgamation. The fifth difference under merger method, there is pooling of interest between shareholders and the companies, and the respective interests are represented in the combined balance sheet. Under purchase method, There is acquisition of business and therefore the interests are not represented proportionately in the amalgamated balance sheet. Amalgamation may be in the nature of merger or in the nature of purchase. The following steps should be considered for accounting purpose. The first step is computation of purchase consideration. Second, closing the books of the transferor company. Third, incorporating the assets and liabilities in the books of the transferee company. And the fourth step is preparation of amalgamated balance sheet. Let us discuss in detail about the steps. The first one is computation of purchase consideration. It is a price payable by transferee company to transferor company as per agreement under different methods, namely net asset method, net payment method and exchange ratio method. Now the second step is closing the books of the transferor company. To close the books of transferor company, the following accounts are opened in the books of transferor company. The first account is realization account. It is an account which shows the profit or loss of realization of assets and liabilities, that is assets and liabilities taken over by transferor company. The second one, transferee company account. Third, equity share, preference share, bank or cash account, and the last account is equity shareholders account. The third step is incorporating the assets and liabilities in the books of the transferee company. As per AS 14, there are two methods of accounting for amalgamation in the books of transferee company. The first method is the pooling of interest method. This method of accounting is adopted in case of amalgamation in the nature of merger. Under this method, as per AS 14, the first condition is all the assets, liabilities and reserves of the transferor company are recorded by the transferee company at their book values. The second, the difference between the purchase consideration and the paid up amount of share capital of the transferor company is adjusted in the reserves and surplus of the transferee company. The second method, the purchase method. This method of accounting is adopted in case of amalgamation in the nature of purchase. Under this method, the first one, all the assets and liabilities taken over by transferee company are recorded at agreed value. Second, the difference between the purchase consideration and net assets of transferor company is adjusted in goodwill or capital reserve as the case may be. Now the fourth step is preparation of amalgamated balance sheet in the books of transferee company. Now let us understand the methods and types of amalgamation as per AS 14 with the help of an illustration. Now let's try to understand the methods and types of amalgamation as per AS 14 with the help of an illustration. Now in this illustration, Usha Limited and Kiran Limited decided to amalgamate their business and form a new company called Usha Kiran Limited, which will take over all the assets and liabilities of both the companies on the basis of the following balance sheet. Now in this balance sheet, the first shareholders funds, in that share capital at the rate of ₹10 each, Usha Limited share capital is 12 lakh, Kiran Limited share capital is 24 lakh. Reserves and surplus refer to note number 1, Usha Limited 6 lakh, Kiran Limited 3,60,000. Current liabilities, that is trade payables, in that creditors, Usha Limited 6 lakh, Kiran Limited 4,80,000. Total liabilities is 24 lakh and 32 lakh 40,000. Next is assets. In that non-current assets, tangible fixed assets, that is machinery, Usha Limited machinery is 10 lakh 80,000, Kiran is 12 lakh. Intangible fixed assets refer to note number 2, Usha Limited 6 lakh 60,000, Kiran Limited 2 lakh 40,000. Current assets, in that inventories, stock, Usha Limited 4 lakh 20,000, Kiran Limited 9,60,000. Trade receivables, debtors in that Usha Limited 1,80,000 debtors and Kiran Limited debtors is 7,20,000. Cash and cash equivalent, that is Usha Limited cash is 60,000, Kiran Limited cash is 1,20,000. Total assets is 24 lakh and Kiran Limited total is 32,40,000. Notes to balance sheet. Note number 1, reserves and surplus. Under that, general reserve 3,60,000 Usha Limited and 2,40,000 Kiran Limited. Profit and loss account surplus 2,40,000 and 1,20,000 respectively. Total reserves and surplus of Usha Limited 6 lakh and Kiran Limited 3,60,000. Note number 2, intangible fixed assets. Under that, goodwill 3,60,000 and 2,40,000 respectively. Patents 3 lakh and Kiran Limited is nil. Total intangible fixed assets 6,60,000 and 2,40,000. Following are the terms of agreement. The first agreement, the purchase consideration of Usha Limited is agreed at rupees 19,20,000 payable in fully paid up shares of rupees 10 each. The second agreement, the purchase consideration of Kiran Limited is agreed for an exchange of 12 shares of rupees 10 each fully paid in Usha Kiran Limited for every share in the Kiran Limited. Compute purchase consideration and prepare the amalgamated balance sheet. In the books of Usha Kiran Limited, calculation of purchase consideration. Purchase consideration of Usha Limited is 19,20,000 which is payable in the form of shares, that is 1,92,000 shares at rupees 10 each. Purchase consideration of Kiran Limited, that is 28,80,000 which is payable, that is for one share 12 shares are issued from Usha Kiran Limited. Therefore, for 24,000 shares in Kiran Limited, 24,000 into 12, 2,88,000 shares at the rate of rupees 10 each, 28,80,000. Total purchase consideration is 48 lakh. The next calculation is calculation of reserves and surplus to be shown in the balance sheet. Total purchase consideration is 48 lakh which is calculated above, less paid up capital, that is 36 lakh comprising of 12 lakh of Usha Limited and 24 lakh of Kiran Limited. So there is a loss of 12 lakh. The loss is adjusted to reserves and surplus of Usha Limited and Kiran Limited. That is total is 9,60,000 which comprising of 6 lakh Usha Limited and 3,60,000 of Kiran Limited. The balance, that is 2,40,000, is shown in the balance sheet as capital reserve. Let's now prepare amalgamated balance sheet of Usha Kiran Limited for the year ending 31st March 2017. Let's now rule out a vertical balance sheet with particular column and amount column with inner column for note number. Let's record the liability side. The first heading is equity and liabilities. Under that, the first head is shareholders funds, comprising the first one is share capital 48 lakh, reserves and surplus minus 2,40,000. Here it shows a debit balance, so minus sign is put up. Second heading is current liabilities. Under the trade payables, creditors 10,80,000. Total liabilities is 56,40,000. The next heading is assets. Under that, the first head is non-current assets, tangible fixed assets, total 22,80,000. Intangible fixed assets, Goodwill 9 lakh. Next heading is current assets. In that first head is inventories comprising stock. Amount is 13 lakh 80,000. Trade receivables, that is debtors, 9 lakh. Cash and cash equivalent, that is cash, amount is 1 lakh 80,000. Total 56 lakh 40,000. This is notes to the balance sheet. Let's rule out the three columns. That is, the first column is note number, second column is particular column, and the third one is amount column. The first note number is share capital. Under that, Usha Limited 1,92,000 shares at rupees 10 each, that is 19,20,000. Kiran Limited 2,88,000 shares at rupees 10 each, 28,80,000. Total share capital is 48 lakh. Second note number is current liabilities, that is trade payables. In that, creditors, Usha Limited creditors is 6 lakh. Kiran Limited creditors is 4 lakh 80,000. Total creditors is 10 lakh 80,000. Note number 3, tangible fixed assets, that is machinery. Usha Limited machinery is 10 lakh 80,000. Kiran Limited machinery is 12 lakh. Total machinery is 22 lakh 80,000. Note number 4, intangible fixed assets, that is goodwill. Usha Limited goodwill is 6 lakh 60,000. Kiran Limited goodwill is 2 lakh 40,000. Total is 9 lakh. Note number 5, inventories, that is stock. Usha Limited stock is 4 lakh 20,000. Kiran Limited stock is 9 lakh 60,000. Total is 13 lakh 80,000. Note number 6, trade receivables, that is debtors. Usha Limited debtors is 1 lakh 80,000. Kiran Limited debtors is 7 lakh 20,000. Total amount is 9 lakh. And then last note number 7, cash and cash equivalent. In that, bank amount, Usha Limited bank amount is 60,000. Kiran Limited bank amount is 1 lakh 20,000. Total is 1 lakh 80,000. Let's take up one more illustration to understand the methods of amalgamation. In this illustration, Ravi Limited and Chandra Limited decided to amalgamate their business and form a new company called Ravi Chandra Limited with an authorized capital of rupees 15 lakh divided into shares of rupees 10 each. The following are the balance sheet. The first head is equity and liabilities. Under that, shareholders funds. Under that, share capital at rupees 10 each, that is 3 lakh and 4 lakh respectively. Reserves and surplus 1 lakh and minus 60,000 respectively. The second head is non-current liabilities. Under that, long-term borrowings, that is debentures 1 lakh. Third head is current liabilities. Under that, trade payables, that is creditors 50,000 and 70,000 respectively. Total liabilities is 5 lakh 50,000 and 4 lakh 10,000. Second head is assets. Under that, the first one is non-current assets, that is tangible fixed assets, that is machinery 3 lakh 50,000 and 3 lakh respectively. Intangible fixed assets, that is goodwill 50,000. Second head is current assets. Under that, inventories, that is stock 80,000 and 60,000 respectively. Trade receivables, that is debtors 40,000, 40,000 respectively. Cash and cash equivalent, that is cash 30,000 and 10,000 respectively. Total assets is 5 lakh 50,000 and 4 lakh 10,000. Notes to balance sheet. Note number 1, reserves and surplus. Under that, reserve fund. Ravi Limited reserve fund is 60,000. The next one is profit and loss account. Ravi Limited is 40,000, that is surplus, and Chandra Limited 60,000, that is deficit, that is minus 60,000. Total reserves and surplus is 1 lakh and minus 60,000. Following are the terms of agreement. The first condition is the assets and liabilities of Ravi Limited are taken over at book value except goodwill, machinery and stock, which are to be valued at rupees 1 lakh and rupees 3,20,000 and 90,000 respectively. The second condition, the assets, that is except cash, of Chandra Limited are valued at 10% less than the book value and the creditors are taken over at book figures. Compute purchase consideration and prepare the amalgamated balance sheet in the books of Ravichandra Limited. Let's calculate the purchase consideration of Ravi Limited. Assets taken over. Goodwill at agreed value 1 lakh. Machinery at agreed value 3,20,000. Stock at agreed value 90,000. Debtors at book value 40,000 and cash at book value 30,000. Total assets taken over is 5,80,000. Less liabilities taken over, that is debentures 1 lakh and creditors 50,000. Total liabilities taken over is 1,50,000. So from 5,80,000, if we deduct 1,50,000, the purchase consideration will be 4,30,000 of Ravi Limited. Let's calculate purchase consideration of Chandra Limited. Assets taken over. In this case, assets are valued at 10% less than the book value. The first asset is goodwill, that is nil. Machinery, it is valued at 10% less than the book value, that is 2,70,000. Stock, 10% less than the book value, 54,000. Debtors, 10% less than the book value, 36,000. And cash book value is 10,000. Total assets taken over is 3,70,000. Less liabilities taken over, that is creditors 70,000. So from 3,70,000, if we deduct 70,000, the purchase consideration will be 3 lakh of Chandra Limited. Now prepare amalgamated balance sheet of Ravichandra Limited for the year ending 31st March 2017. Let's rule out a vertical balance sheet with particular column, amount column, and with inner column note number. The first heading is equity and liabilities. Under that, shareholders funds. The first head is share capital, that is 7,30,000. Second head is non-current liabilities, that is long-term borrowings, that is debentures 1 lakh. Third head is current liabilities, trade payables, that is creditors 1,20,000. Total liabilities is 9,50,000. The second heading is assets. In that, the first one is non-current assets. Under that, tangible fixed assets 5,90,000. Intangible fixed assets, that is goodwill 1 lakh. Second head is current assets. Inventories, in that stock 1,44,000. Trade receivables, that is debtors 76,000. Cash and cash equivalent, that is cash 40,000. Total assets is 9,50,000. Let's understand the notes to the balance sheet. So before understanding, rule out the columns with first column is note number, second column is particular, and third column is amount. Note number 1, that is share capital. 1,50,000 authorized capital of rupees 10 each, that is 15 lakh. Then paid up capital of Ravi Limited, 43,000 shares of rupees 10 each, 4,30,000. Chandra Limited, 30,000 shares of rupees 10 each, 3 lakh. Total paid up capital is 7,30,000. Note number 2, current liabilities, that is trade payables, in that creditors. Ravi Limited creditors is 50,000. Chandra Limited creditors is 70,000. Total creditors is 1,20,000. Note number 3, tangible fixed assets, that is machinery. Ravi Limited is 3,20,000, Chandra Limited is 2,70,000, total machinery is 5,90,000. Fourth note is inventories, that is stock. Ravi Limited is 90,000, Chandra Limited is 54,000, total amount is 1,44,000. Note number 5, trade receivables, that is debtors. Ravi Limited is 40,000, Chandra Limited is 36,000, total is 76,000. Cash and cash equivalent, that is cash. Ravi Limited is 30,000, Chandra Limited is 10,000, total cash is 40,000. Let us discuss with the case study. In this case study, Sita Limited is taking over the business of Geeta Limited on 1st April 2017. The balance sheet of Geeta Limited on that date is as under. The first heading is equity and liabilities. Under that, shareholders funds, share capital at rupees 10 each, amount is 2 lakh, reserves and surplus, amount is 1 lakh. The second head is non-current liabilities. Under that, long-term borrowings, that is 10% debentures, amount is 1 lakh. Third head is current liabilities. Under that, trade payables, that is creditors, 50,000. Total amount is 4,50,000. The second head is assets. In that, non-current assets. Under that, tangible fixed assets, 3,50,000. Non-current investment, 50,000. Second head is current assets, amount is 25,000. Total is 4,50,000. Notes to balance sheet. The first note is reserves and surplus, comprising general reserve, that is 1 lakh, less miscellaneous expenses 50,000. So reserves and surplus is 50,000. The next one is profit and loss account, that is credit balance surplus 50,000. Total reserves and surplus is 1 lakh. The second note, tangible fixed assets, that is machinery 2,50,000, building 1 lakh, total tangible fixed assets is 3,50,000. The purchase consideration is to be paid on the basis of rupees 25 per share of Geeta Limited in the following manner. The first one is 60% in equity shares of Sita Limited. Second, 10% in convertible debentures of rupees 100 each. Third, the balance in cash. You are required to calculate purchase consideration under AS 14. Second, determine the nature of amalgamation from the above information. And the third, state the reason of selecting a particular method of amalgamation. And the last one, pass the opening journal entries in the books of Sita Limited. Computation of purchase consideration under AS 14. Purchase consideration is to be paid on the basis of rupees 25 per share of Geeta Limited. There are 20,000 shares in Geeta Limited. Therefore, purchase consideration will be 20,000 into 25, that is 5 lakh rupees. This amount is paid in this manner, that is, first they are paying in equity shares, that is 60% on 5 lakh, 3 lakh. Second, they are paying on in the form of debentures, 10% on 5 lakh, 50,000, and the balance they are paying in cash, that is 5 lakh minus 3 lakh 50,000, 1 lakh 50,000 they are paying in cash. Total purchase consideration is 5 lakh. The second question is determine the nature of amalgamation from the above information. Amalgamation is in the nature of purchase method because purchase consideration is paid in the form of shares, debentures and in cash. The third question is state the reason of selecting a particular method from the above information. Purchase method of amalgamation is selected because condition number 3 specified in AS 14 is not fulfilled. In case of merger, the purchase consideration shall be discharged by the transferee company in equity shares only, except cash for fractional shares. But in this problem, Purchase consideration is discharged by issuing equity shares, debentures, and balance amount is paid in cash. Opening journal entries in the books of Sita Limited. The first entry with regard to the purchase consideration payable. The entry is business purchase account debit 5 lakh to liquidators of Geeta Limited account 5 lakh. The narration for this entry is being purchase consideration payable. Now the second entry for incorporating the assets and liabilities. The entry is tangible fixed asset account debit 3,50,000, current asset account debit 25,000, non-current investment account debit 75,000, to 10% debentures account 1 lakh, to creditors account 50,000, to business purchase account, that is purchase consideration amount 5 lakh. The balance 2 lakh will be transferred to goodwill account, that is 2 lakh. The narration for this is being incorporating assets and liabilities taken over, and the balance of rupees 2 lakh is transferred to goodwill. The third entry is for the settlement of purchase consideration. The entry will be liquidators of Geeta Limited account debit 5 lakh, to equity share capital 3 lakh, to 10% convertible debentures account 50,000, to cash 1,50,000. So for this entry the narration is settlement of purchase consideration in the form of, that is 60% in shares, 10% in convertible debentures, and balance in cash. Let us take up one more illustration. In this illustration, Slow Limited is absorbed by Quick Limited. The following is the balance sheet of Slow Limited as on 31st March 2017. The first heading is Equity and Liabilities. Below that, Shareholders Fund. Under that, Share Capital amount is 3 lakh. The next one is Reserves and Surplus, amount is 50,000. The second head is Non-Current Liabilities. Under that, Long-Term Borrowings, that is 8% debentures, 20,000. The third head is Current Liabilities, that is Trade Payables, Sundry Creditors, 10,000. The total liabilities is 3,80,000. The second head is Assets. Under that, the first one is non-current assets. Under that, tangible fixed assets 2,10,000. The next one is intangible fixed assets, that is goodwill 40,000. Second head is current assets. Below that, inventories, that is stock 60,000. Trade receivables, amount is 65,000. Cash and cash equivalent, that is cash in hand, 5,000. Total on the asset side 3,80,000. Notes to balance sheet as on 31st March 2017. Note number 1, share capital. 2,000 equity shares of rupees 100 each fully paid 2 lakh. 1,000 preference shares of rupees 100 each fully paid. So the total share capital amount is 3 lakh. Note number 2, tangible fixed assets. Under that, building 1,30,000, machinery 80,000, total 2,10,000. Note number 3, that is trade receivables. Under that, sundry debtors 30,000 and bills receivable 35,000, total 65,000. Quick Limited has agreed. First condition is to issue 6 preference shares of rupees 100 each in the Quick Limited for every 8 preference shares in the Slow Limited. The second condition, to issue to debenture holders in Slow Limited Mortgage debentures at rupees 96 in lieu of 8% debentures in Slow Limited, which are to be redeemed at a premium of 20%. The third condition, to pay rupees 25 per share in cash and to issue 5 equity shares of rupees 100 each at the market value of rupees 120 each in exchange for every 4 equity shares held in Slow Limited. And the fourth one, to take over the sundry creditors. Show the necessary accounts in the books of Slow Limited and pass the opening entries in the books of Quick Limited. Before preparing the necessary account in the books of Slow Limited, let us calculate purchase consideration. The first in the form of preference shares, that is 75,000. That is for 8 shares, 6 shares are issued by the Quick Limited. Therefore, for 1000 shares, 1000 into 6 upon 8, that is 750 shares at the rate of rupees 100 each, 75,000. Second, in the form of cash, that is for every 1 share 25 rupees are paid in cash. Therefore the company has got 2000 shares, so 2000 into 25, 50,000. Third, in the form of equity shares, that is 3 lakh. For 4 shares, 5 shares are issued by the purchasing company. Therefore for 2000 shares, that is 2000 into 5 upon 4, that is 2500 shares at the rate of 120 rupees, that is 3 lakh. Total purchase consideration will come to 4,25,000. In the books of transferor company. For the purpose of closing the books of transferor company, realization account and quick account is opened. So the first, to transfer the assets to realization account. The entry is realization account debit to concerned asset. So when we post the entry in the realization account, the entry will be realization account debit to goodwill 40,000, to building 1,30,000, to machinery 80,000, to stock 60,000, debtors 30,000, to bills receivable 35,000, to cash 5,000. Similarly, transferring the liabilities. The entry will be liability account debit to realization account. So when we post this entry in realization account, on the credit side, by creditors 10,000, by debentures 20,000. Now the third entry, that is for recording the purchase consideration. The entry will be transferee company account debit to realization account. So when we post this entry in realization account, by Quick Limited 4,25,000, and the corresponding entry will enter in Quick Limited to realization 4,25,000. The next, in this case, purchasing company is paying 75,000 to preference shares acquired, where book value is 1 lakh. The difference is treated as loss, so this loss will be credited in the realization account. The entry is preference shares shareholder account debit to realization account, that is 25,000. And the next, we have to balance on both the sides, debit side and credit side. On the debit side, the total comes to 3,80,000, and on the credit side, the total comes to 4,80,000. The difference 1 lakh is considered as a profit on realization, where it will be transferred to equity shareholders. That is, the entry is realization account debit to equity shareholders, that is 1 lakh. The next, the purchasing consideration amount is paid in the form of preference shares, equity shares and cash. So the entry will be preference shares account debit, equity shares account debit and cash account debit to Quick Limited. So when we post this entry in Quick Limited, it will enter on the credit side. By preference shares 75,000, by equity shares 3 lakh, by cash 50,000, total 4 lakh 25,000. Opening journal entries in the books of Quick Limited. To incorporate the assets and liabilities taken over as per agreement, the entry will be building account debit 1,30,000, machinery account debit 80,000, stock account debit 60,000, debtors account debit 30,000, bills receivable account debit 35,000, cash account debit 5,000, to 8% debentures account 24,000, to sundry creditors 10,000, to Slow Limited, that is purchase consideration amount 4,25,000. The difference will be transferred to goodwill account debit 1,19,000. The narration for this entry is being incorporated assets and liabilities taken over. Now the second entry with regard to the purchase consideration settlement in the form of preference shares and equity shares at a premium of Rs 20 per share and the balance paid in cash. The entry will be Slow Limited account debit 4,25,000, to preference share capital account 75,000, to equity share capital account 2,50,000, to share premium 50,000, to cash account 50,000. The narration for this entry is being purchase consideration paid in preference shares, equity shares and cash. Now the third entry with regard to the payment of debenture holders. The entry is 8% debentures of Slow Limited account debit 24,000, discount on debentures account debit 1,000, to mortgage debentures account 25,000. The narration for this is being issue of mortgage debentures in redemption of old debentures. Now for the verification of the goodwill as well as debentures, that is discount on debentures, can be explained with the help of a working note. The balance of goodwill and discount on issue of debentures can be explained with the help of a working note. So the first working note with regard to the calculation of goodwill, how to calculate the goodwill. So the first, let us take the purchase consideration amount, that is 4,25,000 less net asset 3,06,000. The difference will be considered as goodwill. So the net asset can be calculated below, that is total assets minus outside liabilities. Assets are building 1,30,000, machinery 80,000, stock 60,000, debtors 30,000, bills receivable 35,000, cash 5,000. Total assets works out to 3,40,000. From that, deduct the outside liabilities, that is debentures 24,000, creditors 10,000. So total of this is 34,000. From 3,40,000, when we deduct outside liability 34,000, total net asset works out to 3,06,000. Now with regard to the second working note, that is to debenture holders of Slough Limited. The company has issued debentures at a premium of 20% above the existing face value. So the face value is 20,000, 20% premium is 4,000, total debentures is 24,000, which is 96% of the new debentures face value. Therefore, the value of debentures is calculated as below, that is 24,000 into 100 upon 96, which works out to 25,000. Thus, there is a loss of 1,000 on issue of these debentures to the new company. Let us take up one more illustration. In this illustration, Akash Limited and Bhumi Limited have agreed to amalgamate a new company called AB Limited with a nominal capital of 50,000 shares of ₹100 each has been formed to take over the above concern on 31st March 2016. The following are the agreed balance sheet of the two companies. The first heading, equity and liabilities. Under that, shareholders funds. Under that, share capital ₹100 each. Under Akash Limited 15 lakh and Bhumi Limited 10 lakh. The next, reserves and surplus 6 lakh and 4 lakh respectively. The second head is non-current liabilities. Under that, long-term borrowings 4 lakh and 3 lakh respectively. The third head is current liabilities. Under that, trade payables, creditors. Under Bhumi Limited 1 lakh. The total liabilities is 25 lakh and 18 lakh respectively. The second head is assets. Under that, non-current assets. Below that, fixed assets, that is tangible assets 13 lakh and 9 lakh respectively. The next one is non-current investment 3 lakh and 1 lakh respectively. Second head is current assets. Under that, inventories, that is stock 4 lakh and 3 lakh. Next, trade receivables, that is debtors 3 lakh and 4 lakh respectively. Cash and cash equivalent, that is bank 2 lakh and 1 lakh. The total assets is 25 lakh and 18 lakh. Notes to the balance sheet. Note number 1, reserves and surplus. Under that, dividend equalization fund. Under Akash Limited 1 lakh. Next, general reserve 2 lakh and 2 lakh respectively. Total reserves 3 lakh and 2 lakh. Next, surplus, credit balance, profit 3 lakh and 2 lakh respectively. Total reserves and surplus 6 lakh and 4 lakh. Note number 2, long-term borrowings. Under that, secured loan, Akash Limited 4 lakh. Unsecured loan, under Bhumi Limited 3 lakh. Total long-term borrowings is 4 lakh and 3 lakh. Note number 3, tangible assets. Under that, land and building 8 lakh and 5 lakh respectively. Plant and machinery 5 lakh and 4 lakh respectively. Total tangible assets 13 lakh and 9 lakh. Fourth note number, non-current liabilities. In government securities under Aakash Limited 3 lakh. In company shares under Bhoomi Limited 1 lakh. Total non-current liabilities 3 lakh and 1 lakh. Ascertain the purchase consideration payable to each of the above companies and also prepare the amalgamated balance sheet of a new company. Before preparing the amalgamated balance sheet, let us calculate purchase consideration of Aakash Limited and Bhoomi Limited. So the total assets of Aakash Limited and Bhoomi Limited, that is the first one is land and building 8 lakh and 5 lakh, plant and machinery 5 lakh and 4 lakh, non-current investment 3 lakh and 1 lakh, stock 4 lakh and 3 lakh, debtors 3 lakh and 4 lakh, bank 2 lakh and 1 lakh. Total assets of Aakash Limited is 25 lakh. Total assets of Bhoomi Limited is 18 lakh. So from that, deduct the liabilities taken over. That is, secured loan of Aakash Limited is 4 lakh. Unsecured loan of Bhoomi Limited is 3 lakh. So when we deduct 4 lakh from 25 lakh, the purchase consideration amount is 21 lakh. Similarly, the Bhoomi Limited's total asset is 18 lakh. Outside liabilities is 3 lakh. So 18 lakh minus 3 lakh, 15 lakh is the purchase consideration of Bhoomi Limited. The next calculation is general reserve. The purchase consideration of Aakash Limited is 21 lakh and Bhoomi Limited is 14 lakh. So total purchase consideration is 35 lakh. So from that, deduct the paid up capital of Aakash Limited 15 lakh and Bhoomi Limited is 10 lakh. So total paid up capital is 25 lakh. So from 35 lakh, if we deduct paid up capital 25 lakh, 10 lakh is the capital loss. So this capital loss is adjusted to reserves and surplus of Aakash Limited and Bhoomi Limited. So reserves and surplus of Aakash Limited is 6 lakh and Bhoomi Limited is 4 lakh. So total reserves and surplus is 10 lakh. So capital loss is 10 lakh and reserves and surplus is also 10 lakh. So general reserve will be nil. Let's prepare an amalgamated balance sheet of AB Limited for the year 2016. But before preparing the balance sheet, let's roll out a vertical balance sheet with particular column, amount column, and with inner column note number. The first heading is equity and liabilities. Under that, first one, shareholders funds. Under that, share capital 35 lakh. The next one is reserves and surplus, amount is nil. The second one is non-current liabilities. Under that, long-term borrowings 7 lakh. Third head is current liabilities. Under that, trade payables, creditors 1 lakh. Total 43 lakh. The second head is assets. Under that, non-current assets. Below that, tangible fixed assets 22 lakh. Non-current investment 4 lakh. Second head is current assets. Under that, inventories, that is stock 7 lakh. Trade receivables 7 lakh. Cash and cash equivalent 3 lakh. Total assets is 43 lakh. Let's understand the notes to the balance sheet. Before understanding the notes to the balance sheet, let's rule out the column. The first column is note number, second column is particular, and third column is amount. So the first note number 1, share capital, 50,000 nominal capital of rupees 100 each, 50 lakh. Next, equity shares, 21,000 equity shares of rupees 100 each fully paid up of Aakash Limited, 21 lakh. 14,000 shares of ₹100 each, fully paid up 14 lakh of Bhumi Limited. So total share capital is 35 lakh. Next, note number 2, non-current liabilities, that is trade payables. Akash Limited, that is secured loan 4 lakh. Bhumi Limited, that is unsecured loan 3 lakh. Total 7 lakh. Note number 3, tangible fixed assets. Akash Limited, land and building 8 lakh. Bhumi Limited, land and building 5 lakh. Total 13 lakh. Akash Limited, plant and machinery is 5 lakh. Bhumi Limited, plant and machinery 4 lakh. Total plant and machinery is 9 lakh. So total tangible fixed assets, that is 13 lakh plus 9 lakh, 22 lakh is tangible fixed assets. Note number 4, non-current investment. Akash Limited, that is government securities 3 lakh. Bhumi Limited, that is in company shares 1 lakh. Total non-current investment 4 lakh. Note number 5, inventories, that is stock. Akash Limited stock is 4 lakh. Bhumi Limited stock is 3 lakh. Total inventories, that is 7 lakh. Note number 6, trade receivables. Akash Limited debtors is 3 lakh. Bhumi Limited debtors is 4 lakh. Total 7 lakh. Note number 7, cash and cash equivalent. Akash Limited bank amount is 2 lakh. Bhumi Limited bank amount is 1 lakh. Total 3 lakh. Hope this discussion must have helped you to understand the method of accounting in case of amalgamation of a company. Thank you.